this talking will make a chaplain of me.
Baka seems pretty fierce to me.
This is true.
Did Aaron tell you we found the people who gave Regala's rebels the power to override machines?
He told me of the battle. I suggested he etch this victory on his fighting arm with one of our inkers.
Is he going to do it?
He didn't say no.
We'll talk more once the mission is over.
Once the mission succeeds.
Alright, it looks like we're G to G.
Welcome back. Hello, Aloy.
Hey, Gaia. So, me and Beta. I guess you heard what happened.
Yes. I am continuously impressed by the complexity of human relationships, despite the unpleasant circumstances that led to your quarrel. I am pleased to see you have both found an agreeable resolution.
Well, 2 heads are better than 1, right?
Yes, I believe so. Are you ready to depart for Cauldron Gemini? Or we can continue our conversation, if you like.
The missing subordinate functions. What can you tell me about them?
Artemis rewilded the Earth. Eleuthia was viticulturing Apollo and disseminating. Unfortunately, all archive.
Ted. Guess he got what he deserved, in the end.
Yes. An igneous conclusion to his pathological narcissism, impulsive tendencies, and instability.
All 3 of the missing functions have already served their purpose, or were prevented from doing so. Do you still need them?
Restore empowering. Unfortunately, attaining them in the...
I guess our best shot at recovering them is by taking over the Zenith base. But we'll need Hephaestus and a bunch of combat machines to do that.
Correct.
Correct. Some of that stuff we've already heard, so skipping it.
So, about Beta. I never really saw the difference between us, until now. She's been through so much. Completely alone.
You have both endured many hardships. Different in almost every
Aloy
respect.
out here climbing up
Yet
metal,
equally
old
remarkable.
scrap, rusty
I like to
metal with
think
no
of you
shoes
as
on.
2 miracles,
It's insane to me.
born of Elizabeth Sobek.
That's how you get
3,
tetanus.
then. Let's not forget about you, Gaia. How's all of us settling in?
As soon as she arrived, Alva was eager to study the data in the archive. A particular file soon caught her attention. Information about a machine assistant devoted to keeping living spaces neat and orderly. I informed her that once I am empowered with the abilities of Hephaestus, I may be able to design such a machine.
I'm sure she'll like that. When I set out to find a way to bring you back, I never thought we'd be here, like this. Among friends.
They have all come a long way with their improvised educations. Varl has suggested that one day we might extend this model to more tribal inhabitants, once the biosphere has been stabilized.
Yeah, that's not such a bad idea. As long as you're the one running the lessons. So our plan to capture Hephaestus.
As you wish. We now know that Hephaestus...
Which is why I got Ted Pharaoh's Omega.
Correct. When we get to Gemini, the second...
I don't really need
And
to
then you'll be able
hear
to-
this
Not
because
quite,
How long will that take?
because
I kind of
the
basically
others
heard it
were
already.
home.
It was just lit up, so I wanted to get rid of it. Back.
Gaia? What was Elizabeth like?
her presence is interwoven with my memories. The moment I came online, she was there. We exchanged greetings, names, then set to our task. It was the first of many conversations. I enjoyed being in her company, listening to her stories. She was my creator, my guide.
Your friend.
Yes. When I reviewed the data on your focus, I was saddened to learn of her fate, though I am glad she made it home. I deeply wish she did not have to be alone.
She was okay with that. She gave all of herself. Did all that she could. Thanks, Gaia. So I found Thebes. What do you think Ted would have done if his life extension treatments had worked?
It seems he convinced himself it was his duty to guide future humans. Given the tribal nature of new humans, and his ability to use Omega clearance on the terraforming system, I imagine he would have convinced one or more tribes to worship him as their patriarchal deity.
Okay. Yep, glad that didn't happen. Aside from Gaia Prime and Thebes, there was one other underground facility that was sealed before the Pharaoh Plague reached it. Elysium. The place where Zero Dawn staff and their families went to live out their lives. Do you know what happened to it?
Elysium was designed to provide life support for 100 years. My data indicates the facility went offline well before then.
Did the Pharaoh Plague find them?
Unknown. My connection to the facility was abruptly severed.
So what will happen to this place while we're at Gemini?
All systems within this facility will continue to operate. As Minerva will no longer be masking this location, the facility will be exposed to detection. Though without my presence, it is unlikely to attract attention.
Let's hope so.
Let's go to Gemini.
Okay, people. It's time to head out.
I'll get everyone together.
Gaia has her own charger.
Connections in place. Booting up.
Beta, Aloy. I am fully installed on this core and ready to connect to the Cauldron network.
It's good to hear your voice. Errand, everyone. Fire your pulses and sound off.
I'm at my cauldron. This thingy, it's blinking. Did I do it right?
In position at my cauldron. My pulse generator is blinking also.
That means they're working. I'm in position, and mine is too. Mine as well.
Okay. Radio silence until I give the all clear. Signing off. Gaia, let's cage the beast.
Connecting to the Cauldron network now.
Elizabeth Sobek, Alpha Prime, activating Omega clearance. Elizabeth Sobek, Alpha Prime. Activating Omega clearance.
Clearance confirmed. Initiating containment sequence.
Come here, Hephaestus, you stinky.
Lock it down!
Terminating external connections.
It's working. It's got nowhere to go. Wait, what's that?
Malware detected. Attempting to compensate.
It's cracked.
Look!
It's breaking out!
Autonomous defenses. Directive neutralize.
That means machines are on their way. Get ready.
Here they come!
World.
Oh, it's a behemoth. Wait, what are you weak to? Oh shit, I'm low.
Stay back!
I'm loading again. Ow, bitch. Ow, bitch again, because it walked into my trap. Hold on, stop hitting me for a second, I want this. Oh, I could override the behemoth, but it's almost dead anyway.
Over here, you!
Probably shouldn't have done that at point blank, but here we are. Owie.
Aloy! Need a hand over here!
Yeah, well, I'm trying to get in position I can actually shoot this stupid thing.
It's all done for now. Check the beta and Varl.
Pick up the Ravager cannon so I can have it close to me.
You two okay?
Still breathing.
Aloy, Hephaestus can't escape, but it must have fled. Deeper into the facility. I'll drive it back here. I'll get the cracked core fixed in the meantime.
I'm gonna put some more traps out while I'm here. Oh, it says to return to them. What the hell? What do I have to do over here?
I'll get the cracked core fixed in the meantime. Keep her safe.
Oh, I just had to finish the conversation on my life.
Chase after Hephaestus. Force it out of wherever it's hiding. Make it retreat to the core. This'll be in my stash when I need it.
Ah!
You don't, Hephaestus! I'll find my way over.
You should know there's a huge power draw coming from the next chamber.
What the fuck is in there?
I'm almost there. It's some kind of production chamber. Hephaestus is up to something, all right?
What kind of machine is it trying to build?
I don't know, but I'm gonna shut it down. I bet those metal carriers will lead me to where it's getting materials from.
I bet that's where Hephaestus is hiding too.
I gotta find where Hephaestus is hiding. Looks like there are a couple of ways I could go.
Autonomous defenses chip materials bank.
Machines are making a beeline for another chipper. I better follow them. Those machines are in a hurry.
Aloy, I've managed to rewire most of the components in the core, but the energy processor's cracked. Without a way to fabricate another, there's no way I can fix it.
Okay, let me think. What if you bypass the processor? Connect it to
The power node. I think that could work.
There's too much of a pause in that statement for that to make sense, that she would have finished that sentence without Aloy finishing first.
just a little longer. Okay. Drive Hephaestus out of here.
There should be a node you can override. It's near the central platform.
Thanks. I should deal with these machines first.
Oh!
More machines on the way. Theta! Hephaestus has locked me out of the node. Any ideas?
I'll see what I can do.
I thought I could override these. Is it because it's a grim horn instead of just a normal whatever the hell? Here, come here. Wait, I should be able to override you as well. Oh, I think it's because they're alpha ones or some. Yeah, they're the apex ones, so I can't.
I managed to disrupt
Damn it.
Hephaestus' control of the node. You should be able to override it now.
Nice. Thanks.
Sounds like it fled to another chamber.
Well, I'd better not get comfortable.
Energy containment failed. Sensor moving.
Great. Hephaestus covered the floor with lightning.
Ah!
I gotta find a way over it.
Aloy, more machines keep coming. Please tell me you're getting close.
I'm working on it. I've been smashing through a lot of machines on my side, too.
I guess Aaron's missing out.
Anyway, I'm making progress on the bypass, but I need something to hold the cycling module together.
Maybe a ligament from one of the machine carcasses?
Right? Or some luminous braiding.
And you could reinforce it with a conversion cylinder.
For increased connectivity. I think...
I gotta find a way past the shield. ride on
Make
the
a
rail.
bunch of these.
Go over the shield. Alright. I need to drag Hephaestus out of here. Got it. Okay.
Override unit security parameters triggered. Activate countermeasure CX Giga 9. Autonomous defenses deployed.
Oh, here we go again.
This is all good. I'll try to get your access back.
Shocked and locked.
Ah!
There. Node access restored. Now you can override it.
Good work.
You did the heavy lifting.
Construction purge input. Construction bay 1.
Okay. Hephaestus is running out of places to hide.
Aloy? I just registered a huge energy surge back in the production chamber. Something big is happening.
Here too. Everything's glowing.
Hephaestus was building. It must have finished it.
Powerful. Whatever it is. I'm almost done with the core repairs. Should we come to you? Maybe I could distract the machine if...
No. Just stay
The
where you are.
slaughter spine. I had a feeling it was a slaughter spine.
I should scan it first. Looks like legs is low. I think it's charging up. There!
I should have loaded while it was down. Oh, it's almost dead.
Plasma.
See ya, bitch.
It's done.
You did it! There should be one more node to override.
Good. Stand by. I'm sending Hephaestus back to you. No more hiding, Hephaestus!
Retreat to facility core.
Got it! Hephaestus is back in the core!
Make sure it stays there. I'm heading back.
And then we can start the merge.
Because of you, Beta. I'm glad you came along. And you, Laurel. Couldn't have done any of this without you.
Right back at you, Aloy.
Going down!
Aloy, the bypass is
Oh,
done.
hold on. I'm gonna put down one more trap. Just in case. Alright, Beta. What do we got?
The core is stable.
Hey, completed main quest. Gemini.
Hephaestus is 100% contained. And we better get started with the merge. It's It's all set up. Gaia, establish the link, please.
Done.
Done.
To complete the merge, we need to excise Hephaestus' malicious code. Carefully.
Oh. Look at them working on it together. She's teaching her how to do it. The Sun Wing.
Well, hello, redundant copy. You cost us quite a lot of time. Eric, get Beta. And squash that bug while you're... Ooh! Get behind me. Come on! Quit screwing around.
Yeah, we're having fun, right?
Oh, Varl!
Finally. Tilda, get Gaia and Hephaestus ready for transport.
She couldn't do it.
Tilda!
I failed.
Hush. All is not lost.
Tilda! What the hell are you doing? Stop her! I can't even see her!
Tilda? Tilda Swinton? I'm not gonna lie to you. Varl's death was kind of spoiled for me. Not completely. But because I have a full-time job and I couldn't just purge the shit out of this game. Today, actually, on Twitter, somebody fucking accidentally spoiled it. Vaguely. They're like, oh, I put on my second playthrough and I got to Gemini and that's where the game ends. I'm like, oh shit, something happens here. So, I was kind of expecting one of them to die. Unfortunately, it was our boy Varl.
Where am I?
Ah, you're awake. You took quite a hit when Gerard attacked you. I imagine you must still be in a great deal of pain. I can assure you that we are safe. The others can't detect us here.
You mean the other Zeniths? You must be Tilda.
I wasn't sure if Beta would have told you about me.
Where is she?
Alive. And while she isn't where she wants to be, not in urgent danger. We must discuss how to get her back, of course, after you've shaken off the cobwebs.
When you're ready, take the stairs down the hall and come see me. In the meantime, I'll make breakfast.
The weapon on her back keeps switching.
Okay. Why did Tilda bring me here? What was all this for? Survival bunker?
Toilet's open.
What is this?
Just a few favorites from my collection. Rescued and stored here just before I went off-world. Take a look, if you like. I'm curious to hear your impressions.
My friend is dead. Beta and Gaia are gone, and you want me to look at old paintings?
Don't be so quick to dismiss the comfort we can find in art, or the insight we might gain. My favorite pairing on the left is Woman Reading a Letter by Vermeer, a true master. And on the right is a forgery, Woman Reading Music, which fooled experts into believing it was a priceless original. Early in my career, I became fascinated with such deceptions. Eventually, I developed scanning software that could detect fakes with unparalleled accuracy.
Is that how you made enough money to buy your way onto the Odyssey?
Oh no. I made my real fortune later. Selene and Endymion. She's the goddess of the moon, whereas he's a simple shepherd. Beside her is the god of love, Cupid.
So she's sneaking up on him?
More like visiting him in secret. The torch that Cupid bears represents Selene's undying infatuation with him. Though the two must remain apart, her love will
I know it's art and shit, but sometimes people get real persnickety with that kind of stuff.
This is Rembrandt painting Jeremiah, a man in mourning.
Mourning what?
His home. The ancient city of Jerusalem. He foresaw its impending doom, but could do nothing to prevent it. So instead, he saved its treasures from destruction, just as I saved these works. You could say we're kindred spirits.
Shut up. Absolutely shut your mouth.
A portrait of the painter, Rembrandt's son Titus, depicted in the habit of a monk.
I don't get it. Why would someone like you, with infinite resources, care about this painting of a boy in a hood?
It's not the image itself, but the feeling it conveys. The face is bright and defined, but his eyes are downcast, heavy with misfortune. And the background seems to swallow all light. The painting is infused with a sense of loss.
I guess I understand how the painter feels.
Rembrandt's The Night Watch, by far the most famous painting my homeland ever produced. It was commissioned to honor a militia made up of influential citizens.
I guess you must have been an influential citizen?
In my day. But not as influential as you've been in this new world. Gust by Willem van de Velde, the most famous of his many maritime paintings.
A ship crossing into the unknown. I guess you're familiar with that.
Indeed, which is why I appreciate this composition in particular. Though waves and wind threaten to destroy the ship, it perseveres, clinging to the light even as darkness closes in all around it.
I could have been crafting all this shit while I was waiting. Listen to her speak. What art am I missing? Tilda. This one?
Stunning, isn't it?
What is it?
Paintings were the only masterpieces of my people's golden age. This is Van Vianen's leaded ewer,
What's that noise?
molded from a single sheet of silver.
What was it for?
How like Elizabeth you are.
It only happens when my focus is
Function
up.
over form. Its practical purpose was less important than its meaning. Van Vianen created it in honor of his late brother, who himself was a famous silversmith.
A memorial.
Yes. Such beauty from sorrow.
Weight on his shoulders. I should move on.
Why?
She's pulling out her own hair. Madness out of grief.
Done so soon?
I've got more important things to worry about.
We both do. There is much we are trying to save. Not the least of which is in that vault. There's nothing wrong with savoring such treasures for a moment more.
There you are. Feeling better?
How did you find us?
I've already been here.
And what did you do to everyone right before I passed out?
All business, I see. Well, suffice it, we were keeping a very close eye on Hephaestus, knowing we would need it at some point. Your ruse didn't fool us, and as for my little trick, it was an overload of the senses, accompanied by an energy discharge. Gerard and Eric were only momentarily disoriented due to their shields, but it rendered you unconscious while I got you out. Perhaps some breakfast might steady you a bit?
So I came to this place because there was a machine flower. And when I got close enough, she was like, oh, I bet Tilda won't mind me looking around a little further. I'm like, who the fuck are you talking about? And we had heard about Tilda by that point, but I'd forgotten. So, Gorilla,
Please, this way.
you have voice lines that activate when they shouldn't be. Because I hadn't had this conversation yet.
People have done? You think I'm just gonna sit down and have a chat with you?
They're not my people. They never were, and especially not now.
You shot off into space with them. And lived with them for 1,000 years before coming back. So what made you suddenly turn on them?
Quite simply, this.
My old focus. You repaired it? But that means you've seen
Incredible things. What you've accomplished in 2 decades of life.
Little
1,000 years on my
Aloy.
back, and I haven't even come close. I'm sorry if I invaded your privacy, but I had to.
You didn't have to.
In order to understand. To be enlightened. You truly are Elizabeth's blood. With her drive, her sense of mission, her integrity. watching all this shamed me for the company that I've kept. Having seen it, all I want is to help you.
Even if it means stopping your friends?
Especially so. Please, sit down. There. That's better. Now, we must recover Beta and Gaia at all costs. By now, you must know that Gerard intends to use Gaia to reboot the Earth's biosphere. Remaking this world to specifications that would only suit us immortals. This process will kill every living thing on the planet. He calls it a clean install.
Not if I stop him first.
Not if we do. And once he and the others are gone, we can work together to fulfill Elizabeth's dream. I'm sure Beta told you that there's a build of the Apollo database on board our ship. A complete collection of human knowledge. With that and Gaia, we could do everything Elizabeth wanted. Heal the biosphere, educate the people of this world, uplift them. Create the world she imagined.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. From what I've seen, your friends are invincible.
I do wish you would stop calling them my friends. And they're not invincible. In fact, a friend of yours has found a way to defeat them.
Silence.
Oh, he's been a busy bee, building an army powerful enough to crash through Gerard's precious base.
Yeah. Regala and her rebels.
Even now she's preparing a final march on the Tenakth capital. When she wins, she'll have the entire tribe under her control. Hundreds of warriors and machines to throw at the base. She's been duped. They'll all perish, of course. But it should be enough to break Gerard's defenses and allow Silence to kill him. Along with all the others.
Using the new weapon he's developed.
Yes, he's found a way to circumvent our shields. Truly an exceptional man. He's planned for everything. Except you and me. You see, while his army is battering down Gerard's doors, you and I will sneak in through a back way.
What?
One that only I know.
You just walk up in my chat with language like that, blasphemous language, while I'm trying to listen to this crazy lady try to redeem herself to me.
I told you I want to help you. I mean it.
I've heckin' never, mate. Oh God, the infinite wheel of conversation.
My old focus. How did you find it, let alone repair it?
When we encountered you at the Hades Proving Lab, Gerard saw you as a redundancy. I knew better. You were a revelation. After your dramatic escape, bravo, by the way.
Bravo.
Gerard and Eric assumed you were dead and gave up the hunt. I wasn't so sure. When the others were busy, I returned to the lab and searched for any trace of you. That's when I found this little treasure. Not easy to repair, but certainly worth the effort. As I watched your life unfold, you were like a splash of color on a worn canvas. What Liz was, and more.
Did you show it to the others?
Of course not. It was your actions that inspired me to defy them. It's worth noting that if I hadn't found it and watched its contents, I wouldn't have known to save you at the cauldron. You'd be dead.
So I should be grateful?
If you like.
No. Aloy, I'm on your side on this one. Sometimes I think you're a little over-aggressive with your hate towards people, but I'm with you on this one.
So you know all about me?
She
you?
seems like she has some
What would you like to
ulterior
know?
motives here.
Well, start with your life on Earth.
When I was 8, terrorists flooded my home city. Thousands drowned, my parents included. I was one of the few who survived. My guardian
Guardian
sent me to
Leviosa.
boarding school. among my peers, I was the strange girl, the orphan to be avoided. All because of circumstances beyond my control.
Hey, that was me.
Oh. So we're a lot alike, huh?
Aren't we? You were an outcast. But you didn't let that stop you from getting what you needed. Neither did I. I climbed my way out of desolation and used my wits to build a fortune. First from the technical analysis of art and the detection of forgeries. Profitable expertise in those days. But as it turned out, the software I developed was even more useful for counterintelligence. From there, it was only a short step to gathering extremely valuable intelligence on my own.
You were a spy?
More like a service one could turn to for information. I had to remain anonymous, of course, to protect my privacy. But despite that anonymity, Far Zenith inevitably sought me out.
Ugh. I'm not even through the first conversation with this woman.
They painted
Damn
an
it.
irresistible vision of humanity's future. One where we need not fear illness or death, where we explored the furthest reaches of the stars and thrived. It was only later that I realized that they only intended to bequeath this future.
Thanks for like just having everything actually laid out in the game. Like you can have these conversations with people to learn all the lore and shit instead of just implying it like a lot of games do. But Jesus Christ, is there a lot of just listening to conversations in this game? Oof, duh. Ah, it's not done yet.
So you didn't know the other Zeniths were monsters until it was too late?
I knew some of them were, certainly. It wasn't until we were off-planet that I understood the true scope of their greed. I was grateful to simply be alive, but the others became obsessed with a kind of effortless immortality. They built a colony where machines serviced their every need, where any memory or fantasy could be endlessly savored in virtual reality. It wasn't life. It was stultifying, a pampered dream state. As the decades passed, I withdrew more and more, alone yet again, but this time with eons to consider my mistakes. Now finally, having met you, I feel like I have a second chance.
To do what?
Help you, of course. To fulfill Liz's dream, which isn't so different from Far Zenith's original vision. A better future for humanity.
You said Beta's not in urgent danger, so what are the Zeniths doing to her?
Putting her to work. Merging Hephaestus with Gaia. A difficult, time-consuming task, as I'm sure you know. They will compel her if need be. But her life is not in danger. She's the only one who can do it.
Because you people made her to be nothing but a tool.
Gerard's idea, not mine. They always viewed me with suspicion when I attempted any form of kindness towards her. That's why I created the data channel. A virtual place where we could speak in peace.
So this channel you shared with Beta, none of the other Zeniths ever found out about it?
Gerard believes he's the most cunning of all of us. Even after 1,000 years, he still can't imagine that I would outwit him. The channel allowed me to interact with Beta away from their mistrustful eyes. It offered us a chance to be ourselves.
Until you cut off all contact.
Yes. Though it pained me. I was worried that our meetings would do her more harm than good.
Well, she felt like you tossed her aside.
I was afraid the others would find out and punish her. She may not have had the comforts of friendship anymore, but at least I ensured she was safe. I know it seems harsh, but you must believe that her well-being has always been paramount to me.
Paramount Pictures proudly presents this place.
Why did you make the data channel look like this place?
I built this house as a shelter to weather any storm. A safe place. Not just for me, but for the art stored below. Cultural artifacts of incalculable value. Truly some of the greatest achievements of human civilization.
And you wanted Beta to see them?
Yes. Her upbringing was so cold and technical. I thought if she could experience Vermeer and Rembrandt, it would bring something else into her life. A heritage every bit as valuable as the scientific and technical data being drummed into her. I'm sorry I had to cut off contact, but I'll never regret sharing this house with her. She needed its shelter even more than I did.
We all need a little shelter, you know? A little helper to get us by. That's what they say.
Beta told me your colony was destroyed. That you came back to Earth because you had nowhere else to go.
It's true. After we reached our destination, a planet in the Sirius star system, we spent decades building a new
It's
home.
weird because her shielding
The physical constraints
is
of
form-fitted to her
boundaries
skull and
of
not her hair.
mortality gone.
So you can see it going through her hair.
Think of
So does that mean her hair's not protected?
It might have been a
Could
utopia.
I burn her hair off?
Instead, we stagnated, absorbed in effortless comforts and virtual realities. It took a cataclysm to finally
Interesting
yank
thoughts.
us out of our
Is that why
stupor.
the both of them? Well, no, only one of them is
Massive
bald.
geological
The other
event.
one had
We
gray
knew of
hair.
instabilities in the planet core, but we underestimated them. By the time the collapse was upon us, it was too late to stop it. Only a few of us made it to the ship in time. We set course for Earth, the only safe harbor left to us.
Which you decided to make unsafe for anyone else.
Not me.
Gerard. It's all about Gerard,
He
isn't
believes
it?
It's better to wipe the canvas clean than work around the smudges. No more primitive tribes, no more combat machines, only a blank slate to do with as he pleases. But we will stop him. All we have to do is get into that base.
And how do you propose such a thing?
What exactly is your plan to sneak into the Zenith base?
We will make use of a lesson I learned from an early age. Always know your exits. In this case, a place where Gerard's new construction meets the ancient foundation, a passage that only I can access. When Silence flings his army at the base, we will enter through this back door, bypassing most of the fighting. The distraction will provide us with a window in which to rescue Beta and Gaia.
Once we're inside the base, where will we find Beta and Gaia?
Here in the command center. By then, Gaia will have been reunited with all of its subordinate functions, including Hephaestus.
What about the alpha build of Apollo on your ship?
A simple matter of recovery once the others have been dealt with. With that in hand, we'll have everything we need to make this world as it should be.
There's still something I don't like about
How
you.
do you know about Silence's plan?
He isn't the only one adept at spyware.
You hacked his focus?
You hacked his focus?
No, he's too careful for that. But his subordinates? Not so much. He gave additional focuses to the tribals he branded the Sons of Prometheus.
The ones working with Regala.
By tapping their focuses, I learned about most of his dealings. The distribution of override technology, the arming of Tanakh rebels, and the secret pact with Regala to attack Gerard's base.
But how did he come up with a weapon that can take down your shields?
That's the one thing I haven't been able to figure out, but however he did it, I'm quite certain it will work. With it and the Tanakh army, victory seems to be within his grasp. Such a shame he'll be disappointed.
Regala's only interested in killing Hikaru and waging war on the Karja. What does she have to gain by attacking Zeniths?
It's the price she must pay for her war. Without the ability to override machines, her little rebellion would have languished in the desert.
So she trades with the Sons of Prometheus. Machines to help her overthrow Hikaru.
In exchange for an assault on the base. pride has deluded her into thinking she can actually survive such a battle. And all without ever knowing who the sons of Prometheus really answer to. Yet for all of Silence's brilliance, still he underestimates you. That blind spot is what will allow us to take Beta and Gaia right out from under him.
While hundreds of Tenakth are cut down outside.
Unfortunate.
So you knew Elizabeth. What was she like?
Liz was everything she was. I see in you. And more. Your ingenuity, your determination, your moral compass. You've managed to distill her greatest qualities and make them your own.
I'm not asking about me. Tell me about Elizabeth. What was she really like?
The honest answer is that I don't actually know. For all the time that I spent with her, she always kept a part of herself locked away. It was like that from the moment we met.
So when you met Elizabeth, she was what? Distant? Aloof?
Not aloof. Not exactly. It was a summit in Paris about machine learning. A touchy subject in those days. Because regulatory authorities were just starting to clamp down on AIs. Liz gave the keynote address. She had already achieved great renown for her work in automated environmental reclamation. But in her address, she was just starting to imagine the next step. An AI-driven system that wouldn't just act on its programming, but actually take responsibility for its sphere of influence.
To care about life. Not just follow orders.
Revolutionary stuff. I was fascinated. And I wanted to meet her for a long time. I watched her after her talk. She had spoken with such moral authority, such empathy. But after that, she retreated. I could tell she felt uncomfortable with all of her admirers. It was as if giving the talk had cost her something. I didn't want to be a pest, so I planned my approach carefully.
So how did you finally approach Elizabeth after her talk?
I picked the
You
right
could have just
moment.
continued that conversation from the last one. You didn't
The
have to
morning of
prompt
the
me to
next
ask
day,
you again.
right as she came back to the conference, she had just had her coffee. She was fresh, rested. It was like she had braced herself for the onslaught of colleagues. I asked if I could walk with her, then put forth a question about her talk that I thought was intelligent. Her answer made me realize it wasn't, but she was very welcoming. Almost as if we were previously acquainted. It was only halfway through the conversation that I realized she knew exactly who I was. It was quite a shock to me. My business was trafficking in secrets, and I took great pains to protect my anonymity. So that was Liz, perpetually one step ahead. I came to view our meeting as a metaphor for our friendship. She always seemed to know me far better than I knew her.
I guess I know the feeling.
Bomb bomb.
First Farrell. Now Hikaru and the Tenakth. Your plan would wipe out an entire tribe. There has to be another way.
We are in an admittedly desperate situation, but I assure you there isn't.
There is, because I got
Remember
spoilers.
Zero Dawn. Elizabeth's sacrifice. Sometimes many have to die for a new world to grow.
If it looks impossible, look deeper. Wait. The data channel. It still exists, doesn't it? I need you to open it. Let me talk to Beta.
Impossible. We might be
Impossible.
detected.
It's worth the risk. There is another way, one where the Tanakh survive.
But we won't. If the others...
If you want to help, open it.
Open it. A fucking gesture. Punch her. Beta. Hello. It's me, your sister. That door's not in its frame. She's so sad.
What are they doing to her?
Virtual reality dissociation. The manual merge of Hephaestus will take hours upon hours of tedious micromanagement. If she resists the work, they run simulations to induce feelings of isolation and despair.
What the hell?
Beta, can you hear me?
You're alive. They're watching me. I can't hold up this extra protection for long. You should have killed me.
No. No, look at me. I'm coming for you. I promise. Okay? I just need you to hold out a little while longer and work on the merge.
Aloy whispers.
Then I think it can be done.
I'll contact again when it's time. Can you hold on?
As long as I know you're coming for me, I can endure anything.
My feels, dude. This game keeps going after my feels. Stop it.
All right. I did as you asked. Now I think you need to tell me what
No,
you're
I don't.
planning.
I'm going to take Silent's army away. I don't need it. Only the weapon he made to penetrate your shields.
And how do you propose to get it? Ask him nicely?
Without Regala and her rebels, he won't have a choice. We'll be his only option.
Only option for what? What did you tell her?
That is between
Oh, she called her sister.
Will be Silent's only option.
Oh, my
I'll tell you the rest later.
artery clogged heart.
First, there are a couple of things I have to do.
Oh.
And what are those?
Lay my friend to rest. And then I'm going to use the override that Beta gave me at Gemini to put an end to Regala's
From the
rebellion.
air.
From the air.
Wait.
White.
Since you insist on doing things your way, I know of something that will truly help you make a grand entrance with the Tanakh.
Oh.
The ancient Horus Titans still possess electromagnetic energy cells as part of their arsenal. Drop one of those on Regala's army and they'll receive quite a surprise. So go, do what you must. I'll come to your base if you manage to bring silence to the table.
Not if. When.